Hi everyone, my name's Deanna Blanchard, and I thought it would be neat if I showed you a new program that my district is piloting. There are quite a few other districts in the state of Maine that are using it, from what I understand, but it's a new website called Jumprope, and it's designed to be a standards-based reporting agent, but also a standards-based grade book, which is definitely different from some of the other resources that we've had in the past. We used to have our grade book, pencil and paper, enter those grades, and then enter them into Infinite Campus. The beauty of Jumprope is that it's all in one. I enter units, I build assessments, I enter the grades, and those grades are translated throughout the trimester to reports, and when the trimester is done, I get to print the reports and either email them or send paper copies home. It's really quite neat. So I thought I would give you a little bit of a tour of Jumprope and see what you think. So this is my dashboard. You can see that all of the subjects that I teach are represented here, of course, with the exemptions of art, phys ed. And if you look down at the bottom, it says guiding principles right here. And guiding principles are kind of our behavior standards, if you will. What I typically do on a given day is go up here to the plan area, and I get to decide what it is that I want to build a unit for or find an assessment for. So I have all of our 5 units of Common Core standards in here, and we've been working on NBT. So if you look over here, I have all of our standards, including the guiding principles. We've entered all of the guiding principles in so that in certain situations I can assess how well they listen in class, or whether or not they're being responsible with their homework, they're using their class time wisely. So I can attach that to an actual assessment or a piece of work that I've asked them to do on any given day, and sort of get a running tally of, you know, how well they're doing with their class time, or what's going on outside of class that might be an issue too. And then if I scroll down, you can see that I have all of the other standards. I have geometry, I have measurement and data, I have numbers and operations in base 10, operations and algebraic thinking. Basically what I did in this unit here is I used exit slips, and what I did, if I click on one, and you can see the settings here, this was the first exit slip I asked them to do after they completed some of the work through NBT, and if they could demonstrate mastery of the skill. Now I'm able to attach it to the unit, but I'm also able to decide if it's formative or summative, and each of those has a different weight within Jumprope. So you notice down here, right here, it says 0.01 is the weight for a formative. But if I change that to a summative, you now see that it's a 1.0. So those summative assessments obviously count more than the formatives, which is great because then I get to, you know, vary what I am assessing, and not all pieces have the same weight, and I really get to modify my assessment practices in my particular classroom through Jumprope. I set a due date, and I can put in a description, and then I save. The next thing I would do, you notice there's a little 1 here in the corner. What I would do is I go and I would click off any standards that I was assessing with this unit. So it will attach standards to each assessment. And then what happens is, when I go into my grade book, for example, for math, and I go into NBT, you can see that if I look at any particular one, I have the standard already attached to it, and I can enter the score, all the way through. I can go in and I can print reports. I can go in and vary those reports based on missing work or through the Common Core. I can customize a report if there's something that I really want to take a look at. So it allows me to kind of analyze the data too from my grading, which is really neat. And I'm going to go back to the dashboard here and show you. Everybody else has access, so other specialists that use it on a regular basis can go in and enter scores for those particular students that are in my homeroom. One of the really neat things is once you've built these units within Jumprope, they're not just for the year and then I start over next year. You can clone the units. So if you plan on using them again, they're already in there for you to use in another term, which is neat because it saves you a lot of work from having to redo them every single year. But it also allows you to tweak them if you find a need for it. If you decide that that unit's not working, then you can scrap it or you can add to it and take away from it as needed. The reports are really great. They're color-coded, they're bright, they're easy to read. I'm not showing reports just for confidentiality reasons, but as you can imagine with everything else, it's a really become a handy tool. It's so nice to have a grade book that is also a report card. It kills two birds with one stone. So I thought that it would be interesting to all you other teachers out there and professors alike who have never seen Jumprope to just have a sneak peek at what we're starting to use here in the RSU 14 district. Report cards went out today, so it should be interesting to hear the feedback that we get from parents. But all in all, I really like it, and I'm hopeful that I get feedback from you. What do you think about Jumprope? Does it look like more hassle than it's worth? Or does that seem like something your district might be leaning towards in the future? Well, thanks for stopping by.